Hey all, and welcome back for another HellfireComms Patreon TV com. Today we're checking out a new series, Niko and the Sword of Light. This was commissioned by Levy Anime Man, and I gotta say, I'm not familiar with this one. Vork, you haven't heard of this one either, right?
Nope, this is probably the first I've heard of it, actually. I think I may have heard the whisperings of its name maybe once, but that was such a long time ago, I don't really know what the context is or what it's about. So I'm coming into this completely blind and utterly oblivious to what's to potentially come.
Okay, well, it's an American animated web television series co-produced by Amazon Studios and Titmouse Inc. It's based on an animated comic book of the same name, debuted on Amazon Video as a pilot that premiered January 15th, 2015, and obviously it was later picked up for a full series. So, yeah, we might as well get right on into it. We'll be covering episodes 1, 2, and 3 today. Nothing was specified about the pilot, so, Levy, if you wanted that, probably should have specified it, I guess. What we're going to do is we'll lead you into episode 1, as we usually do, and then when that's done, we'll close it down and give our thoughts on episode 1 while we're setting up for episode 2. So you guys should do the same, just so you can, like, count down with us. Alright, you ready, Rob?
I'm ready.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, Koki, I gotta say, Amazon Originals isn't really something I'm all that familiar with. I would say at most it's like the Grand Tour. I know nothing about like the animated shows that premiered on there.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a grand tour for me as well. I've been meaning to look a bit deeper into it, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. There's other animes and cartoon shows on YouTube that requires my more immediate attention at this point. Alright, so I just gotta say right off the bat, this is reminding me very much of, like, Avatar The Last Airbender, but perhaps a little bit more kid-friendly, question mark? Although, Avatar wasn't exactly, like, full-on adult, like, showings either, but this definitely brings it down towards, like, something kids could probably relate to a bit more.
That's Jim Cummings. I know that timber anywhere. From the Temple of Champions to the Bridge of Doom. What a title. The pilot was actually called From the Desert of Despair into the Swamp of Sorrow.
Yes, the Swamp of Sorrow apparently comes up in episode 2, after the Sky Maze of Anguish, and then they go from the Swamp of Sorrow to the Hills of Humiliation, so, yeah, very, very long-winded titles, if I suppose it kind of leads from one episode to the other and makes it a bit more obvious than just having the episode name, and maybe perhaps makes it seem more grand than it actually is?
Yeah, I guess so. It says the series is centered around a 10-year-old boy named Niko, who I guess we'll see soon, who is the last of his kind in a strange world as he goes on an adventure to bring light back to his land.
So I take it some titular evildoer has probably thrown the world into chaos, or at least his world.
Yeah. In this world where compromise does not exist, etc.
Indeed. So, who's this snarf-looking dude here?
I don't know, but I will tell you voice actor trivia until we actually get his name. Let's see, in the pilot, which we're not covering, Felix Avita voiced Niko. In the series, it's Andre Robinson, so I guess we'll see Niko in a little bit. We have Kari Walgreen. We have Jim Cummings as the narrator, D. Bradley Baker as Flicker, Chomsky, and the Swamp Kittens. I would put good money on D voicing this guy here. We also have Stephen Bloom, Corey Burton, Tom Kenny, and Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yes, I recognize Steve Blum and good old Corey Burton, who has voiced many a favorite Transformer in my time.
Oh, yeah. Oh. It's almost like there was a boy in the iceberg.
But this time, it's a lad in a crystal, I guess. Slightly different, not quite the same thing.
Ah, an adolescent in a stactylite.
Boy in a box.
Dave the Barbarian Jr. I do kind of like the tone so far, and the animation style isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's almost playful, but there's slight undertones of something more sinister at work.
I'm not sure, is this like animated in Flash?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Flash has been used in quite some time. I'd wager if this came out in like 2016 or so, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have used Flash, because I'm pretty sure Flash has been defunct for quite a while.
Like, isn't it like Toon Boom or whatever they use now?
Something like that. The name sounds familiar, so I would wager that's probably it.
Well, the more important and intelligent people in the comments will be able to tell us. But what we can gather from this, there's like an Order of the Sun, they have a champion they need to get, and this is Princess Lyra. She is voiced by Corey Walgreen, and I guess she's in charge of greeting the champion.
Bit weird how they just have, like, a personal greeter for the champion. It's just like, I've been training my whole life for this. Now, the question is she going to be disappointed or just flat out confused?
Well, she's fighting alongside Niko in the opening, so I guess we'll have our basic misunderstandings. You know, they're kids and whatnot.
It's like, who wears a mohawk in this day and age?
Wait for it.
Oh, he's just gone.
He's fucking scarpered, mate.
Yep, just went to the shops, grabbed myself some snacks.
How long were you frozen? Like, you don't even have the concept of berries anymore?
Yeah, I'm not sure how long ago we went from tree objects to berries, but he must be from, some crazy far back time. But then again, he can speak relatively good English as well. He can at least string sentences together, so it can't be that far back.
Nah, I'm a ghost. You cannot touch my physical presence or anything upon it.
How much do you want to wager that the people back in the past have, like, TP'd a corporeal form?
This is so funny. She's never going to expect it.
Just wakes up toilet paper over and is like, God damn it, again! Come on, it's just a child. It's only to go that far.
No, chaos, doom, despair!
Kill it with fire.
Goodbye.
That was a straight up Star Trek transporter effect.
Okay, Mandoc is voiced by Tom Kenny. I thought I recognised that voice.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I was watching the E3 2018 panel for Spyro Reignited, and you know, he had Tom Kenny doing his thing. Obviously, he has to kind of replicate Carlos's younger inflections and whatnot, because he only came in Spyro 2, did Tom Kenny.
So I imagine it's probably a bit harder considering it's been probably at least a decade and a half by now, so...
It's been 20 years, my friend.
Yep, the voice tubes have developed to a point where the higher tones are probably not as easy to do. What? I feel like I need some context for the Ungermunt thing.
Okay, well, we have our series premise. The lad don't know who he is, but he knows he must win.
Well, that is a rather basic, but at least it's a motivation, you know. It's good to kind of wake up from a crystal and kind of have some idea of what's going on, rather than what most people do, where they just become completely useless amnesiacs for 3 episodes, and then they finally remember what the hell they were doing here to begin with.
Yeah, oh, Digimon attack. Should have saw this coming.
Use your mohawk as a weapon.
No, I can't take this off and throw it like a boomerang. I will reveal myself to be an Ang XP and we'll get sued.
That's a good deal, I take it.
No, I have all 3 of those already.
Only slightly. Sorry, but if it's not near mint, I'm not interested.
He actually kind of sounds a little bit like Ang as well.
A little bit.
Who is this Andre Robinson? I swear I've heard of him before.
I have to be honest, the name doesn't sound familiar to me, so maybe if you name a couple of things he's been in, it might jog memories.
Guys, IMDb. Up. Most known for Niko and the Sword of Light. Let's scroll down here. Oh, he's in the Loud House. He is Clyde, I believe. He's Oliver in Summer Camp Island, which is a new Cartoon Network show. Niko, obviously. He was Kid Free in Family Guy.
Oh yes, good old Kid Free. Absolutely memorable role.
Oh wow, he was actually additional voices in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
I wonder which additional voices they were.
I don't know, but they were the most additional.
He seems like one of those voice actors that seem to be making a bit of a tear recently. Like, there's a lot of like stuff he's been in for the last couple of years, but not really much else kind of before that.
Yeah. I wish. If I could just, like, be born knowing jujitsu, that would make things a lot easier.
Well, we can't all be Samurai Jack who could just sort of spend 10, 15 years just looking at a martial art and just going, yes, I understand this perfectly.
So, how do we go and get him without actually having to go outside? Could we send Amazon to do it?
Maybe we can, like, buy something online and get it via Just Eat or something. Get him to pick him up along the way, you know.
Huh? Interesting.
So they seem to be imprisoned here against their own volition, and they cannot age/die.
That kind of sucks, really. It's like, ha, I've defeated you, but you will never get to taste the sweet embrace of death.
It must kind of suck in a way. Especially when you feel like you've just had to come here because everything else has gone to pot. You're a braver lass than we are.
Well, I'm not even a lass, but you're definitely braver.
I was gonna say, I wonder if she was actually gonna end up getting her corporeal form here, or if she's just gonna be the ghostly apparition sidekick.
Well, again, I refer you to the animated intro, mate.
So she must do at some point, it's just a matter of when.
Nice. I'm eating well tonight, hoo-hoo!
Not bad for just a stick.
Yeah, but I'm getting the Sword of Light, although we are like halfway through the first episode.
So what is this strange fruit? I can only assume it's some kind of pear-tato. For it looks like a pear and is shaped like a potato.
I don't want you to ever say that again. That's like two combinations that should never be eaten raw.
Probably not. I don't know, pears are okay, but not a raw potato. No way.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Well, it's certainly coming in hard with the big beasties in this first episode.
Yeah, all Aang had to deal with was the crippling realization that he'd never see his family again.
Behold, it is the free-headed marshland shrew.
I hear you, Kevin.
Well, at least they're honest.
Another Avatar comparison, where things are, like, wildly juxtaposed, like, I don't know... Oh no, my brain just had a sudden thought. They combine animals, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there is a bit of, Frankensteining going on here. I think someone's been playing some impossible creatures.
Yeah, oh, that was a good quick look.
Choose it!
Yeah, I think you're gonna need a little bit more than a twig, Niko.
I don't know, he's not doing a bad job so far. Well, until that happened. May I suggest a rock? Or maybe a tree?
There we go. And these are meant to be the good guys.
It's very obvious who wears the pants in that particular three-headed relationship.
Oh yeah. It's complicated. Oh my god, it's read my mind.
Are you sure you haven't watched this show before?
No, definitely not.
To her credit, she had a good comeback for that one. No, if it was to go anywhere, it would be babysitter, sidekick, and then the rat thingy is obviously the mascot character.
Yeah, for sure. He's the Appa, or the Momo. I forget which is which. No, Appa was, the flying sky bison, Momo was the little, lemur.
I do love the sky bison.
Ooh.
She gave up way too quickly.
Well, the plot wouldn't move if she, didn't.
Of course, probably not anymore, because everything's gone to shit, and it looks like a Doom level all of a sudden.
Oh my god, no, it looks like something out of Epic Mickey. It looks like something out of Tangled, the series.
I haven't had much experience with Tangled the series. But yeah, it definitely looks like that one level in Doom where you sort of go, like, underground, but it's like all suspended ceilings and what have you. It's like, who do you take me for? I am a legendary something or other. Come on, you did the other ones without thinking, you can do it again.
It's okay. Here's an extra bit of difficulty for you.
I will build a bridge out of your remains.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Whee!
Not quite George of the Jungle, but, you know, I'll give it an average score, 6 out of 10.
I give it a B minus. I don't think that's going to work on this guy. He doesn't have enough intelligence to realize he should be scared.
And thus began the world's most boring stalemate. It's like, come on, we can't even leave you alone with it for 5 minutes.
Where his Sword of Light? He needs to have Sword of Light if he to be Niko and the Sword of Light.
Oh, yes, that is a thought. We haven't received the titular sword yet. Is this suspenseful enough yet? Well, you tried, I think, what most of us would have tried first, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it looked like you just giving me a shank. SHANK, okay?
It's like, you're now my prison bitch. Want to give me an instruction manual, or, you know, PDF?
Is there a magic word for this? Shazam? Activate?
Alakadabra? Walla Walla Washington?
Please fucking get out of here so before we all die? How's that?
Well, if that won't do it, I don't know what will. Do we have to? I'm pretty sure there are more mascot characters like you around here.
Ah, yes. Wanting to save my sidekick. That's what activates it.
I understand now.
That's pretty cool.
I do like the sword. I have a thing for like those swords that have those weird notches in it. I don't know why, but it makes it look all the more intimidating.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though it isn't purely cosmetic. Like, I don't see any way that's, like, particularly useful. I don't know, maybe it's a bit like a serrated blade. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not an expert on swords, but I feel like maybe it's a little bit more style than what's needed, but you know what? I'm happy it's there.
Holy shit.
See, this is what happens when you twink. Low level, but given the most OP weapon in the game.
So I'm just kind of sitting here in disbelief because that was really cool.
Very dramatic. And I'm guessing we'll have to go off to find those guys later on.
Yep.
Yay, another mascot character.
We're just collecting them like Pokemon.
And he's asleep.
Well, you know.
Is he one of those particular protagonists that's like fueled by food?
Aren't they all, Volk? Aren't they all?
Oh yes, but him in particular.
And he won't gain a single bit of weight, because fuck life, that's why.
I like to imagine he's just been eating durians the entire time.
No. Well, I mean, the taste of durian is fine, it's the smell.
Oh yeah, but he seems like the kind of person that would just not be affected by it in the slightest. He's just like, this is yummy.
No, there's like 12 more episodes I can sense.
Is it actually 12, or is that just a guess?
There are 13 episodes plus one pilot.
Alright, so technically 14.
Don't bring your fucking technicalities into this. You technicality bringer!
Well, I'm sorry. Ooh, I like the axe.
The axe of light.
How long do you need for this exactly? Are you waiting for him to mature a bit first, or are you just waiting for him to just pull fighting skills out of his ass?
Wait for him to go super, Niko.
I think either way she's going to be waiting a while.
We're coming, Master. I'm sorry, we failed.
So we'll get our first look at the bad guy. We saw a brief snippet of him in the opening, but not really a good look. Oh god, it's Waspinator in a bird form.
It might very well be.
Oh, yes, that must be Steve Blum, because that is very much Transformers Prime Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is 1 for 1. That is so cool.
A little bit of Aku in there as well.
Maybe a little, but I would still go stand by my opinion that is literally 1 for 1 Starscream Transformers Prime.
Well, I mean the visual design more than the...
Visual design's a bit like Aku, maybe a smattering of Voldemort with, like, Hades from Hercules, perhaps.
So check out the credits before we close the episode down.
Yeah, fairly basic. Quick shots, the odd bit of hand-drawn or hand-penciled art, I suppose. Yeah, I'm liking the inclusion of the sketches.
Yeah, for sure. Okie doke, let's close that sucker down while we load up episode 2. What was your thoughts on Niko and the Sword of Light episode 1, mate?
Pretty decent as far as the first episode goes. I would say maybe there was plenty of action, although it seemed a fair bit generic apart from the three-headed shrew, perhaps. But I think I'd be nitpicking a bit too much if I was going to go down that route any further, so I'll just say it's a very good first episode, a solid start, and hopefully we'll see some beefier things going forward.
Yeah, it was a bit simple, but I guess if it is literally targeted at kids, that's fine. But I would like to see a little bit more going on. I will say I was impressed with the visual effects, like the summoning of the sword. The fighting was pretty well choreographed and whatnot as well, and the voice work is actually decent.
Well, yeah, they got a lot of fairly decent quality voice actors. I mean, obviously with Steve Blum and Jim Cummings or what have you aside. Though even the ones we don't relatively know a lot about, they seem to be putting in a solid performance that can keep up.
Indeed. Alright, I have episode 2 ready to go now, if you're ready, mate.
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Niko and the Sword of Light, episode 2, in 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie, this episode is called From the Sky Maze of Anguish to the Swamp of Sorrow. And we get a little bit of a recap here. I came out the crystal ready to go blah blah.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine the Swamp of Sorrow being a highly reviewed destination from Thompson's.
Well, maybe it's one of those ironic names. It's like Hull. It's actually not as bad as the name implies. So yeah, Nar Est is the villain, and he is indeed voiced by Stephen Bloom.
Excellent.
Well, until the darkness reincarnates, as it always does.
And thus the cycle continues.
Lyra is physical there, and here, and in lots of scenes actually, so I'm wondering, when will she actually leave the palace?
Well, I'm not sure if it will be a case of her leaving the palace, or if they like meet face to face first and then they go off again. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where that transition happens and how it occurs.
Oh yes, Sniffly, very, very, very good. You know what, this is alright, I'm kind of getting into this now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those shows that's definitely catering to a younger demographic, but I think even people like us could appreciate it.
Yeah, as old, curmudgeonly, dead inside individuals.
Indeed. I mean, what else are we really here for, if not that?
I guess so. Not quite Dead Man's Volley, it's a lot more up close and personal.
You need to, like, fashion it into a boomerang, that would work.
Oh, no. It doesn't really hurt, come on now. Oh no. Wait for it.
Imagine if you did literally just leave.
I want to be champion now!
A home wasn't built in a day, young one.
Do you mean Rome wasn't built in a day, Volk?
Well, home wasn't built in a day either. That was the point that I tend to use for, it was from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Oh, well, of course it was. Of course it was.
It was the episode where they were making, like, the wax versions of themselves. I wonder if these are going to be a recurring character like the hyenas from The Lion King.
I was just thinking of them, yeah, but these are, what animals are these meant to be? I'm seeing, like, lizard stuff, we've got horns in there.
I'm pretty sure they're meant to be possums.
Yeah.
Weird pig rats. At least he's getting into the idea of just finding a safe place to go.
Yeah, but you really shouldn't, like, shout out your location. That's an easy way to get ganked while you sleep.
Exactly, or like strange three-headed possums stalking you. Well, we know they're not going there because the title of the episode is The Sky Maze of Anguish to the Swamp of Sorrow. So obviously they're gonna go to the Swamp of Sorrow.
Oh, Jesus. Naras just... He took over the tourism industry and just wrecked everything for everyone.
I don't know, maybe the Swamp of Sorrow just paid more subsidiaries or something. It's just like, yeah, you're gonna get all the tourism attention.
Oh, jeez.
And you lost him.
Does it count of protecting him if we, like, stop him from having any fun of any kind?
I don't know, but at the same time, you just gotta let him go to his own devices. The only way he'll learn is by experiencing why maybe that's not such a good idea himself.
Yeah, a hand held to the fire learns best.
Well, it looks nicer over there than it does in the Swamp of Sorrow, I'll give you that.
Ah, the riptide of rollickingness.
Just a toe. And so he got his wish to ride the water slide.
Whee! Well, it's a bath and a ride all at once.
Oh wow, this was in the opening.
It was.
So I'm not entirely sure if you've watched any of, like, the old sword and sorcery type cartoons. Like, which ones do you remember most fondly in this regard?
I'm not entirely sure what kind of shows you're referring to, mate.
I mean, you got stuff like Thundercats, Conan, like the really old Conan Adventurer cartoon show, things like that.
Oh, right. Well, that was before both of our times, so no to that. You go back further than I, at least in terms of like watching classic stuff. Dave the Barbarian is what comes closest to mind, but that was more farcical than this.
Yeah, this one seems to at least have some kind of a serious plot to it.
Let me guess. Giant spider.
Yeah, sounds like a fun time.
Is the river of acid, like, to deter you from going in, or to keep you from getting out?
I think it's just a way of, like, greener waste disposal.
Yeah.
Just like, rather than just collecting it up in black bags just outside the gates, they could just go, just chuck it in the acid moat. Yeah, I don't think you're swimming up that, to be honest with you.
No.
See, even the cute, weird caterpillars had enough of him.
They went down the slide as well. That voice sounds really familiar.
It does sound familiar to me as well. I can't put my finger on where. Oh, a minion! Really going up the ranks now.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so what are they now then? Just freelancers?
Probably pet. The lesser form of minion. Doesn't even get to eat at a dinner table.
He's not even, like, having to try here. Lyra's just giving him all the directions and whatnot. I guess because she had to lead past champions through this whole place.
I would probably think that would be the case. It's one of those things, like, maybe she's been through this a few times before, and just like... It's like her third playthrough, and it's like, yeah, I know where all the secrets are.
Oh, it's like, the guy with the magical axe couldn't do it. Guy with the spatula of light couldn't accomplish the quest. Hopefully this sword of light fares better.
Well, if not, there's always the bedpan of destiny or the lampshade of eternal torment. Ah, but at least you get to be an important character.
Does he, though? Does he really? What purpose is he serving in the plot?
Well, he gets more screen time than the three-headed possum, so, you know, he must be doing something.
What a kiss-ass.
Antlers on everything. Even me.
I shall call him Gaston. He uses antlers in all of his perforations.
Nice.
Interesting how he can't control his minions, or maybe this one's just especially wild.
Well, I mean, he is effectively playing God with some of these combinations here.
I'm at this bitch. Well, he lost his villainous luster quite fast.
Yeah, it's a little bit more slapstick now, perhaps, so... I guess it's kind of part of the course with animated shows sort of towards this age bracket, perhaps. You gotta have, like, that odd piece of buffoonery within your villain.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, he's an okay villain so far, and his voice works great.
He's got that right amount of snark as well, I noticed. Forgive me if I don't have much faith in you, Mr. Crow.
Oh, so it was... The Sword of Light is actually part of the Dark Jewel. Interesting bit of lore.
Maybe it was like a splinter from when it was still, like, a light crystal of some sort. Maybe it got corrupted. It seems like he's got somewhat of a real body anyway, so... Thank you, plucky sidekick.
Yes, thank you, naughty Argo. But yeah, I wasn't aware that was not his real body. I thought he was just like a ghost creature like Echo.
Or some kind of wizard that's able to manipulate his body in various different ways. Which does make me wonder how more powerful his human form actually is, because surely having something like that is better than just being an ordinary human.
Yeah. Okay, I expected spiders in here, but they're subverting my expectations.
No, instead it is Pumbaa's dad.
Oh, jeez. That's Mr. Pig to you. Fucking really.
Well, at least he didn't wake up immediately. That's it, back away. Alright, so what's gonna set him off? Come on, we know it's gonna happen.
Wait for it.
Huh, maybe not. Or is that tiny thing gonna end up waking it up?
Possibly, possibly.
Alright, I think I know where this is going now. Quick, retreat into his nostril for safety.
Ah, I will wear you like a puppet. Oh no.
Yup. Oh, he has more than 2 eyes, huh. It's like, really?
Wee. So what is with the spiderweb motif if there's no actual spiders? Am I going to get an answer to this? Oh, okay. I just did, the moment I opened my fat mouth.
I smell champion.
Spider guy, part ox, got lots of eyes.
Quite the odd combination, though. It's, but then again, maybe that's his style. He just wants to make those combinations that people don't quite think of. You know, it's easy to think of something like a tiger and a bear, but nobody really thinks of the ox and the spider.
Mixing anything with a spider just makes it like otherworldly and gross.
Although, to be fair, the front of him isn't too bad. Rear definitely could use some work.
Kind of disappointing that he doesn't have to like constantly keep summoning his sword and whatnot.
His quip game could use a bit of work as well, you know, his battle cries going in need some improvement.
Aye! That's a classic one.
Ah, the rat proved himself useful.
Ah, well, I guess I've been told to shut my fat mouth twice in one day.
I don't know. Give it time. He'll probably just become that useless mascot character pretty soon. But running's no fun. I want to kill the ox spider.
No, we must not.
If I am the champion, I should be able to kill this thing, and if I can't, well, what's the point in continuing?
Are they in a nest right now? Oh.
It's the descendants of Timon.
So who voice the Meerkoons? Where are they? I'm not seeing anyone here. Interesting.
Might not be credited. Maybe it'll be in the ending credits of this episode.
Possibly, yeah, so let's keep an eye out.
Yeah, they seem friendly enough, even if they do look a bit freaky deaky.
Where's the eyes, mate?
Yeah, the eyes have it. We watch with eyes constantly glowing.
With peepers to watch.
Well, at least they acknowledge, like, one champion did end up falling foul to the acid. I was curious.
It's kind of interesting how they do have a lineage of, like, losers, and this is the one who might buck the trend.
Especially since he doesn't really look for sort. Especially with the guy with the axe, you'd expect him to get quite far.
Because it, again, like with the previous Avatar comparisons in episode 1, yeah, all the avatars that came before Aang might have lost some things, but they're usually remembered as winners.
Yeah, that's true. It's not every day you sort of, like, see, like, the downfall of your lineage and your predecessors.
Alright, plant your feet and push that sword directly into his mouth.
Slice his butt and then carve the remains and then fashion him into a fine suit of armor.
Okay, that just escalated into ways I couldn't even fathom, honestly.
I was going into a Monster Hunter thing.
Didn't work. It's like Goku stopped me from using it, and that's not even Goku's move.
Well, their mistake was making it powered by C batteries. Will he win, or will he be acid victim number 2?
If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me!
I mean, he's got one of many eyes to choose from. Because this is a slightly kiddier show, you can't just stab a dude in the eye in this.
Wow.
Good, you're starting to annoy me anyway.
Yeah, alright. Well, you did kind of cock it up with the past champion, so, bingo bongo. Now you're in the real world, oh. Goodbye.
At least Captain Beard has reason.
Yeah. I do kind of like the stakes, actually. Like humanity's last stand.
You better make sure you're home before tea, or else you are grounded, Missy. And thus she was corporeal. Yeah, I'd like to see you try and run through me now, little punk.
As I was saying.
Not bad, could use a bit more gusto.
As for you, you need a bit more pesto, hey.
So what has the wizard of the group got to offer? Alright, makeshift staff, not bad. Oh no, a pointy stick! My one weakness, not the sword literally made of light!
This time, together!
Just bops one of his arms and he falls over. Well, close enough. And he goes for a nice bath. You know, we're just going to ignore the fact that he'll probably melt off screen within seconds.
I haven't exerted myself like that in years. That was our last option. I hope it works out.
Well, they have 11 episodes to figure out exactly how, but I have faith in them somehow. I'm not sure how to explain it exactly, but
Shut up.
I reckon they'll be alright.
Okay, Volk.
So a new Pokemon's going to join the team?
Yes. Look for it in Gen 8.
He was pretty quick on the uptake on that one. It's just like, no, it's not just a seed. It's practically a helicopter.
Yeah, basically. You use it to travel in the air. I imagine Lyra will like that because she's not used to walking and whatnot.
I shall call you Whirligig.
Something's following us.
Yeah, how dare you steal all the screen time?
Take Sword Blast now. Oh, she's lost her magic.
Or maybe she just forgot. I mean, she can't even barely remember how to walk. It wouldn't surprise me if she also forgot how to magic.
Oh. How did we not notice that?
Yeah, I think you noticed the sinking feeling a little bit sooner than you would in that situation. Although, that being said, I think you have to give them a little bit of credit just because they're being distracted by the giant three-headed possum.
Really?
Oh, come on! You can see her literally sinking into the ground. What the hell is wrong with you people? Oh, okay, you're slightly stronger than her, that's probably why. I'm beginning to believe that Niko's probably like the only street smart one here.
Possibly, yeah.
Quicksand bad. I should probably not step into it like every single fucking character is doing right now. It says, hello, please die. I have to be at home by 7.
Oh, Jesus.
And now everybody's in the goop.
Are we gonna, like, end on a cliffhanger here?
It's beginning to look that way. Yep. Alright, let's see if this, voice actor comes up who did the weird meerkats.
Yeah, I saw the Meerkoons there, so you know what? Let's stop the video now. I'm just gonna go back and, see. So, how do you feel about, episode 2 of, Niko and the Sword of Light, mate?
I would say also falls into the pretty damn good category. I like the different set piece they went with this time, with the whole Swamp of Sorrows and, you know, the Lake of Acid and the weird... And we're getting the idea, like, the theme seems to be weird creatures sort of put together and hodgepodged in many a unique way. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of interesting designs they'll come up with in the future, because they don't seem to be doing anything cliché.
Well, it verges on cliche every so often, but cliches aren't necessarily bad, unless they're just, like, dull and whatnot. But yeah, as Volk was saying, it was actually Tom Kenny who voiced the Meerkoon leader.
In other words, Mandok.
Basically, yeah. Alright, let's load up episode 3 here.
Alrighty, let's see what the Hills of Humiliation have to offer.
Yes, episode 3, From the Swamp of Sorrow to the Hills of Humiliation, in 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie. What are you expecting here, Volk? How are they going to get out of this one?
Humiliation, and I feel only being humble in their humility will possibly allow them to escape the hills. Alright, so first of all, before we get to the Hills of Humiliation, we have to get out of this particular humiliating situation where a guy literally falls headfirst into the quick mud when everybody else has done it and he did not learn. Maybe I shouldn't go in there.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, he almost did, but he let himself down at like the last 20 seconds.
Alright, so we know from this Lyra's going to get a magical staff and a different outfit, but I don't see the little mouse guy changing all that much. He's just there for, like, the comic relief.
Yeah, agreed. So at some point she gets some kind of jewel to go with her staff that will amplify her magical powers in some way. That much we can assume.
Yes.
But when exactly that'll be, who can say?
Oh, I could just listen to Jim Cummings all day.
We could, but we do have other quick looks to do.
Yes, yes we do. They're called TV comms, you Philistine.
Don't mind me, just taking a mud bath.
Oh yeah, it's a magic sword. Oh, okay. So they weren't like that originally, that was just darkness.
We've been bamboozled. We are no longer all-powerful, huge, and what have you.
Oh, here comes the design change.
You're a fine one to talk, sir.
Wow. That's stereotyping. That's profiling.
So what will they do now is the question.
Well, continue to be nasty, I guess. Maybe they'll try and get their old powers back again.
Quite possibly. Maybe they'll see this as a way of, if we can stop him, maybe they'll let us be the weird beastie again. Underlay.
Wow. That's kind of dark, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you're pretty much immortal and stuck in a tower, probably means you don't really need the food all that often, if at all. Is there even food over there? That's a good question.
I don't know. Design change, ho!
Relatively quickly, too.
It's me. I went to find dinner.
So you don't have any more of those huge durian thingies.
It tastes horrible, but I'll eat anything at this point.
Those are the poison berries, I'm afraid. I picked these up to tell you these are the ones you're not supposed to eat.
And they had diarrhea all episode.
I wish I could go to sleep as fast as that little bug critter.
Yeah, same. But alas, anxiety. My brain tells me, no, Tom, you're dying. You're dying. And I'm like, shut up. No, I'm not.
It's more the heat for me at this point. Just like, oh, I'm melting. Who can sleep in this condition?
Well, maybe they named it ironically. It turns out everything with a bad name is good, and everything with a good name is bad.
Yeah, don't go to the, plains of cupcakes and gumdrops, for God's sake. No man has ever made it out of there alive. Alright, Starscream, what you got for us today?
Oh, I see. So that's how he's able to track him. That's kind of clever, actually.
Minion, I've called you forth to assess the situation.
That's kind of scary as well. It's like a dark version of Lyra's powers.
It is a bit. Clairvoyance through the dark night, and the underlings that traverse it.
There you go. Oh, Stephen Bloom voices both Narest and Rasputin.
Ah. I guess it kind of makes sense.
Aw, I like Rasputin. Well, I'm looking at the episode guide, and it says we're on 3 of 13, so I'm just going to take a wild stab in the swamp and say no, it won't.
Yeah, they'll be out by the end of the episode. Oh god, they're having that moment where you remember a song, but nobody knows the fucking title of it.
Nice.
Hammer is literally just a block. Okay, that's a bit weird.
Related, I suppose.
Quite possibly. Bow did look quite nice, though.
Indeed.
I'd probably opt for that, personally. Or maybe like a mixture between like a crossbow or something, maybe, you know, go halfway between the gun and the bow.
Yeah, or maybe like tonfas of light, that'd be good.
Solid choice. As long as they have spiky bits on the end.
That's at least a level 5 quest.
Yeah, you're gonna need to at least get some quest gear before you actually go towards that. Maybe some friends, it might be a raid boss by the time we get there. Sir, I think you're stepping on the terrapins. Or maybe it's just a giant frog.
That's Jim Cummings. I'm pretty sure he's using the same Cajun accent he used in Princess and the Frog. He played Ray, just in case any of you all aren't aware.
Damn good job of it too, if I remember correctly.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. It's a weird sentence.
You dare question my appetite? I challenge you to a hamburger eating contest.
Okay, I'll eat the city on the left, you eat the city on the right. Oh no, it's a Vor episode.
Well, show's over. Yeah, this is actually what happened. He just failed at this point, but they wanted to make another 13 episodes just so people didn't think, oh, he must have gotten through easily.
Yeah, no, it's just like 11/10 more episodes are being digested.
Digestion in real time.
Nope. No, not the right guy, no. I had a little bit of Pete in there, actually.
Yeah, a little bit. Although I was half expecting him to start rummaging around phones, like, wait, hold on, I know he's in here somewhere. Just pulls out, like, 10 separate creatures before he gets to the right one.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, he really did it, you see. So there's the Terrapins. You know, digestion would have settled just fine.
Well, allow him to have his, over-enunciations. He will be dead soon.
I don't know, he seems like he's been here for a while. Yeah, you don't want to go down there.
They don't.
I don't call you that at all. Where did you get this idea? That is Dryalint.
Please, Daddy Toad, for me!
Oh god. Please no. Can we just skip that part and just go straight to the bit where she's actually inside the stomach?
Yeah, episode over, smash cut to credits. Oh no. Oh, that's kind of sad, actually.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? Ah, the return of the pear-taters. Ugh. Maybe not those ones.
I mean, the glasses only affect, like, what he can see, not what he can taste. He's gonna know they're rotten soon enough.
Oh yeah, but by then it'll already be too late. Who thought getting eaten would be so difficult?
Seriously, just vomit me, Daddy, already!
Just cover yourself in honey. I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you.
How did you survive all this time without proper food and whatnot? I mean, you are like a tortoise and what... I actually don't know what he is meant to be.
Mystic Tome. I like to look at the two-headed dragon.
He really is, Aang. I kinda like Niko, actually.
He's the right kind of positive, plucky fellow, but he also has an endearing silliness to him. with eyes unclouded by hate. But I want to go out the ass!
That leads to the butt. We literally just dealt with acid in the last episode.
He says, like, yeah, we've already done this whole song and dance before, we'll be fine. My arms are too stumpy. You would think the reverse might have been a better choice here. Because at least the Terrapinian has long arms.
Oh, I'm coming, baby. My hand will be around you soon enough.
If at first you don't succeed, throw crap at it and see what sticks.
Well, that's basically how I do things.
Oh yeah, you should know.
Wow.
I know, I think the man has an acquired taste.
Oh, there's little baby kids!
They're propeller cats. Have this 3-piece sofa set for only $149.99.
What would DFS say? If it's for a sword, it's fine.
Well, it's a good thing he swallowed a Bed Bath & Beyond, as well as the city. Ooh, emeralds! Those will pick up for a pretty penny. Maybe you can afford some armor.
Cute.
The cutest damn platform you ever did see. For little did they know, not only was the Sword of Light a powerful weapon, but it was a damn potent laxative.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Volk.
Well, it depends. If it's a back end, it's a laxative. If it's the top end, then it's antacid. Yep, antacid.
Everyone is free, thanks to the magical MacGuffin of the day.
Wait, was those the Pyramid of Giza that he just puked up? I was wondering where those went. I'm going in for round 2. It's like, no, I'm not done being evil.
Is he, like, actually evil or not? Because it's kind of hard to tell what's infused with darkness and what isn't.
I know, I think we could probably assume that most things that are relatively huge and have a lot of screen time that's not the main characters is probably the evil. He's on the ball though.
Yeah, because of all those eyes, Niko can't get a bead on him.
Should have done it from inside of him. He's pretty good at skipping stones, or I guess small children.
It's the pastime of the swamp, really.
Yeah, I'm ready to go out of the swamp now. I want to see what the Hills of Humiliation are like.
Maybe the Hills of Humiliation were inside us all along, though.
Well, maybe they have eyes, and maybe they're thinking, no way, I ain't touching that. Quick, beat up his eyeballs. Ow. I can only imagine how painful that must be. Well, come on, don't delay.
Ah, he only has the one eye now. Interesting.
Just enough to see the futility of his existence.
Begone, darkness fought!
There you go, he was the evils all along.
Aww. Okay, well that story closed.
Yep, that was sort of what I was expecting. I was thinking, yeah, he's gonna be puny and then, like, something will eat him. I don't think you can eat it. It's not chocolate money. Yep, there we go. I believe that is the thing that'll give her magical powers.
Huh.
So would that mean if he takes a dip into the pond, he'll become, like, buff, beautiful, and bitchin'?
Yeah, the true champion.
Eat it! So, is it magical, or is it just like a compass?
I think it's a bit of both. Ah, character development!
Yeah, boy!
Okay. Good to know.
Oh, you have no idea.
And so they walk for the rest of the 10 episodes.
It's just that one scene in Lord of the Rings where they're just running across the landscape, just over and over again on loop. You know, if Megatron were here, he'd probably get the job done by, like, an episode and a half ago.
Don't mention Megatron in his presence.
I think he's safe. I don't think this is quite Frank Welker's game.
Wait for it.
Well, I believe now we've officially reached the Hills of Humiliation.
Okay. Well, that was episode 3. I felt it was a tad on the fillery side.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there wasn't really much going on until right near the end, although it had a good storyline to it. I will give it that.
Yeah, and I did like, you know, Chomsky or whatever his name was. He was a pretty good side character. I would say that's the weakest of the 3 we've watched, but it was still pretty good. So, overall, how do we feel about Niko and the Sword of Light, mate?
I'd rate it solidly above average so far.
Yeah, pretty good. It's not like breaking any new grounds or anything, but it's perfectly enjoyable. I would say it's an above average kid show, especially for like an Amazon original and whatnot. Again, I have no idea like what the standard is and whatnot. I do follow Netflix, don't follow Amazon. But yeah, if you want to see any more of Niko and the Sword of Light, if you want us to continue, hey, feel free to pledge for it. $25 can get you 3 more episodes and whatnot. So do the math, you might be able to get the whole series. Thank you, Volk, for joining me.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another HellfireComms Patreon TV com. Bye-bye.